Welcome to day 222 of 1,350 days. There are no sales to report so far. I might well make some sales though in a few hours time, because I'm going to the book launch event for my new book, Do the Work You Love. It's being held in Covent Garden in London at Watkins Bookstore. And although I may well make some sales of this book, I won't actually be adding the figures onto the total, because I will only get my sales totals in September. In September I will find out the book sales for Do the Work You Love. So even if I make sales tonight, I won't be adding them onto the total. But you're going to get some footage from the event tonight, and I've been spending the last few days preparing my talk. It's a 20-25 minute talk based on the main insights from the book. Actually, I put it up on my Screw the System channel, so I will leave a link below in the description to my Screw the System channel where you can watch the talk for tonight. I think Watkins are actually going to put it up on their YouTube page as well, so I could also share that at some point. Anyway, I thought I'd give you guys my tips, my three key ingredients to giving a great talk. And actually this applies not just to giving a talk, it also applies to writing a great book. I call them the 3 S's, and actually there's a bonus S as well. If you want to deliver a great talk, you have to have structure, you have to have stories, and you have to have soul. And if you want to add an extra 4th dimension to that, smiles. So what do I mean by structure? Don't ramble. It's got to have a clear, like these videos. I ramble a little bit in these videos. They don't have structure, but when I do a talk, it has a structure. And basically I will plan out each section of what I want to write. That doesn't mean you have to memorize it off by heart, but it means that you have to know what each section is about, which points you're going to make, in what order. Don't just freestyle it. Some people can get away with that and it goes well, but I'd say play it safe and have a structure. Stories, basically stories, I mean examples. So tonight I'm talking about the 3 paths, well, part of it is the 3 paths to getting paid to do the work you love. There's the adventurer's path, there is the strategist path, and there's the grinder's path. Now for each path I give a particular example of somebody who has walked that path, a story. First one, the adventurer's path, is Brad Pitt. Second one, the strategist path, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Third one, the grinder's path, is a guy called Bo Khan. These are stories. So in amongst the structure of the talk, I tell the stories. What the stories do is bring the talk to life. It's an example which brings colour to the talk and helps people engage and relate to it. Finally, the last element of the 3 S's is soul. What do I mean by this? Try to include something in your talk, especially if this is a self-help talk, a personal development talk or book, that is going to hit them here, that they're going to feel it, you know. The soul element only needs to be minimal. It can only maybe 10% of the whole talk, 15%, 20% most, but have it in there, because you need them to go away feeling that they've been uplifted in some way or moved in some way. You've got to have that element of soul. The 4th dimension, the thing that brings it all together, if you can do this, is smiles. Now what do I mean by smiles? I mean make it funny, engage people, entertain people. This is something which is not particularly easy, and I think if you try to do it, if you force it too much, it can come across as a bit cheesy and the opposite of funny, actually a bit cringy. So I feel I'm a master, or I've mastered soul, structure and stories. I haven't mastered smiles yet. I can sometimes make people laugh, but I prefer to just play it safe with those 3 and give a good talk, rather than trying to make people laugh and coming across as too cringy. But as I learn more about how to entertain and engage an audience, then I'll try and share that with you guys. And if there are any of you out there who give talks, maybe you can give your formula or what you feel works. Right, so I've given you some content. I just wanted to give my view on that. Footage you're going to see from now on is me either going to the talk, me at the talk, me speaking, maybe some book signing afterwards. Who knows what's happened? Who knows what's going to happen? I am looking forward to it though. This is my first ever official book launch. Remember, Escape the System's book launch was me just pressing enter on the keyboard and hoping people are going to buy the book. And this is 8 years, actually pretty much 8 years later to the day, my second book is getting an official book launch. So looking forward to it, and stay tuned for more footage. Okay, so we're getting close to the venue. This is Cecil Road. It's got lots of nice sort of antiques and bookstores along this road. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, there we go, Watkins, right ahead. So this is the venue for the book launch event, right here. Look at this, it's got characters from the book, well not characters from the book, but examples I used from the book. And Mia's Thor for some reason. Okay, I'm back home after the book launch event. I didn't get any footage of the event, unfortunately, because my cameraman Marcus, who you've probably seen in a previous video, was late. He didn't make it to the talk. He came to the book signing afterwards. So you guys might have to just rely on some stills. Anyway, the event went well. The talk went well. 25 minutes, lots of positive feedback. It was great. Must have sold, I reckon, around 15, 16 copies of the book from an audience of maybe 40, 50. So that's a pretty good percentage. So I really enjoyed it. I don't know whether you can see from the pictures. You should be able to. I look pretty happy and pleased with it. I did have one slip up during the talk though, and it was a 25-minute talk and I had no notes whatsoever. So this was all from memory. So I guess I shouldn't be too hard on myself, but my mind went blank at one stage. I couldn't believe it. I had to pretend, feign a cough and say I needed a quick little sip of water, which I took. And fortunately, my mind then recovered and picked up the trail of the talk. That brings day 222 to an end. Book sales stay the same, although I have made significant sales, I assume, not just today, but over the last 2 days with the book now being released. However, the sales figure for this challenge, the 1,350 day challenge, remain at 1,826 and won't be updated again until Monday, I assume. I should be back with you on Tuesday because I'm paying a visit to, actually Wednesday, I'm going to Southport near Liverpool to interview a very interesting man whose book I read. He's in the book selling business as well, although he's got a hell of a story. His story couldn't be more different to mine. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you in the next video.